that a little bit later. I'm Tory Blackwell. I'm over in the science department. It's going to be so intimate. Over in the science department. Our classes, we have 4 online courses that we teach. Fully online. They have anywhere between, I'd say, about 20 and 35 students that are taking those classes. They are science classes and they're lab courses. So they have to, not only do they have to know how to navigate Moodle, they also have to be able to set up all the equipment that we send them. They basically buy a lab kit that comes with beakers and stoppers and gaskets and tubing and all this other equipment in little envelopes that say this envelope full of things goes with this lab. None of it is assembled. So they have to be able to assemble the equipment, do the experiment, understand the science and the concepts that the experiments relate to, and then do it and report the data, and then write a report about it. And if the kids can't get the reports, can't get the data, they can't write the reports, they won't grasp the material, we have problems.
Right.
So in the past, what we've had a lot of is a lot of emails back and forth. They would send an email, hey, I'm trying to set this up. We'd send them an email back, okay, did you try this? So a lot of text-based communication, when what they probably would have benefited from was video. So we wanted to figure out how to add more video to our class. And at the beginning of the year, when Chris gave the introduction to Camtasia, we ate that up. And before we'd even finished the three days to better teaching, we had already put together our first little video clip.
Nice.
So after that one video clip led to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think about 10 video clips by the time it was all said and done. So we made a lot of video clips. And it started off with the biggest problem that we ran into with students just learning how to navigate Moodle. So we wanted to develop something to help them navigate Moodle. So we did this. And let me show you this quick little video. Welcome to Clackamas Community College. In a moment, I'll be showing you how to navigate through your course. But first, let me introduce you to your course instructor.
Hi, I'm Lily Mayer, and I'm going to be your instructor this term. I've been teaching here at Clackamas for 21 years, going on 22, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you and working this term. Make sure if you have any questions or have any problems that you contact me.
And now let's get started.
The course is set up in a straightforward, step-by-step manner. Start at the top of the screen and click on each topic to view the orientation materials. It is important to use the correct browser and turn off any pop-up blockers before you start. Notice that there is a list of required materials that you will need. This includes your workbook and CCC lab kit. You will be doing experiments at home as you work through assignments in your workbook. You will also need the textbook for your assigned readings. In the orientation area, you will also find information on the grading policies, midterm and final exams, and a course calendar with tentative due dates. Be sure to complete the orientation quiz after reviewing these materials and to introduce yourself to your classmates. To start your first assignment, scroll down to Topic 1. Click on Topic 1 Prep Work under the Preparation Work area. Follow the directions. You are now ready to start your first assignment. Click on Step 1, Climate and Weather Forum, and follow the directions. The assignment directions will open. You can use the bar at the top of the page to navigate back. As you work through the assignments, you may be directed to complete experiments and post data, view videos, review websites, and scan and share answers as you fill in your workbook. Follow the directions as it guides you through the activities. Your instructor and peers are readily available to help should you have questions. So, let's get started.
Okay, so that's our little video. from these videos, so our classes have about 30 students roughly per each section, and I think for 2 of our sections, oh actually let me show you one of our lab experiment videos because these are kind of fun too. All right, it's Dr. Blackwell again, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the osmosis lab. So we've got nice little banners, say who you are and where you're at. You should have 4 strips of dialysis tubing. You'll need a 100 milliliter graduated cylinder, a 10 milliliter graduated cylinder. You'll need a funnel for filling your dialysis bags, and a container of some sort. We chose to go with a nice little Knorr canning jar. And you'll also need your workbook to go through the protocol. First thing you'll want to do then is to get a piece of this dialysis tubing. It doesn't look like it's a bag or a tube, but in reality it is. So yeah, students get that and they have no idea what it is because it looks like a sheet of paper, but it really is a tube. And you'll find, you rub it with your fingers, preferably not wet fingers. It'll open right up for you. And now,
Okay, let's talk that. Okay, here we go.
I've added the first 10, so I'll add another 5 to bring us to a total volume of 15 milliliters. And I think you can kind of now get a feel for why we decided it would be useful to make these videos. And if I take you back to over here, these little numbers. So we put all of our videos up into YouTube and made a channel for our class. And hopefully it'll kind of become the channel for our department. Like I kind of set it up as a departmental channel because there's some other things you can do with your YouTube channel later on. And these little numbers here are the number of students that have viewed the video. And you can even go further in and look at when they were viewing the video. So it'll give me like date ranges. So probably if I looked, it would have, I think these are all the introductory videos. So like I said, about 30 students per course. We've got like 35, 33. This one has a couple of sections. Okay. So basically every student is watching our introductory videos, which tells us that they really needed to see how to get around in Moodle. These videos are also in a couple of different sections. Like this plant lab video comes from a section that has 20 students. It's been watched 37 times. This video is 17 minutes long. The usual rule of thumb is probably 5 to 10 minutes is about what most students will want to be able to, or are able to watch without being annoyed, frustrated, bored, wander off. And kids are watching it twice, even though it's 17 minutes long. So obviously for the students, it's definitely been very useful for these students. We've gotten much fewer emails about how to set things up, because they literally can watch a video for how to set this up. So they've got written instructions, they've got a video. Occasionally I get like a few minor emails, but I think like for our first lab, I probably got 20 emails, like 1 email from almost every student about setup. This term, I think I've gotten 4 emails about setup related things. So that has definitely been a great use. Yeah. Now those videos look really complicated. They're like what Chris would call like a 2-camera shoot in there. There's insets. We change locations. All these crazy things.
Oh, really? That's great.
We used one of these. We used one of these. We did use one DSLR, but all it really was acting as is just a basic camera. So a cheap point-and-shoot $100 camera that most people own would have worked just as well as my nicer DSLR. So when we're out there filming at the very front where I'm standing in front of the CCC banner, the camera can't catch my audio because I'm probably 20 feet away from the camera. So usually what you would have is you would have like a nice little lapel mic with a wireless transmitter that would go. If you take your phone, like I said, I like to focus on low-tech stuff I have around. You take your phone and your standard, I mean, if you've got a cordless microphone, or not a cordless, but a corded microphone,
Okay.
like the earpiece that comes with the iPhone or with most newer smartphones. On the iPhone, if you go to voice memos,
Where'd it go? Like, wait a minute. Oh God, my kids rearranged it right there. Okay.
if you go to voice memos, it will let you record audio from a source. And if you take your little headphone and you put the microphone part right around in your collar and kind of tip it in, it turns into a lapel mic. It is basically a wireless microphone. So what I did...
So the file will be in your phone then?
Yeah, and then I just took that and I think I either emailed it to myself or I just plugged my phone directly into my computer, and it came up in the list of like little audio tracks in iTunes, and I just pulled it out of iTunes and put it on my desktop and used it
That's brilliant.
for that.
Okay.
So yeah, so I take that guy. I got my little wireless mic, or my lapel mic. It's cheap. I already own it. So it's in there. And then I just have to kind of go, okay, I stand at a little bit of an angle so it doesn't catch my lapel mic. And I hit the record button, put it in my pocket, and I start. And I use that audio track, which I generate from my happy little cheap iPhone. And I have someone else. The key thing is you have to have 2 people. I would recommend 2 people for all these shoots minimum. I have the other person do my video recording, and when I'm done, I hit stop. They hit stop on their end, and because you have the audio, and it's the same audio, you can match the audio track in your phone back up with the audio or with the video that came from whatever the other device is.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably already have a wireless lapel mic setup in your pocket, and you just don't realize it. So, and even if you don't have one of these guys, I think at Fred Meyer this week, the headphones with microphones were on sale for like $9.99, the cheap ones.
Okay.
So it's really inexpensive. To do some of the editing, like I did some voiceover work, I did borrow this guy from DLC because we found that these microphones do a pretty good job of picking up. And as long as you're in an office that's not directly underneath one of the air vents,
Right.
or you have some other really kind of loud or kind of consistently loud and obnoxious noise, you can probably do most of your audio in your office
Okay.
without too much trouble. So like all the stuff, yeah, I did in my office at the computers that we have on campus with Camtasia and with this stuff. Pretty much no DLC support directly other than Chris giving us an idea how to do things, just kind of general framework of how to operate, and getting us clued in on the software. And this that we stole from Chris. So I think I gave you this little sheet. And we use Chris's his scripting sheet to help us get through our different bits, especially that introduction where I've got the screen capturing and I've got some video. It's nice to have something to read, because we found with those little introduction blobs where you're just going, "Hi, my name is Tory Blackwell and I'm going to be your instructor." Without a script, those take you like 2 hours to make.
Okay.
Because every time you stumble on some word or your brain runs amok and you end up talking for 3 minutes when you needed 30 seconds, something happens. So it's nice to at least have a script and a couple things, key points that you know you want to say, and then be done with it,
Okay.
versus trying to free for all it. It doesn't. It's way faster to just take the 5 minutes to write down what you want to say.
Okay.
So with that being said, I want to pop you over to... I didn't mean to move that. I forgot the camera's on it. So if you look at Camtasia, so the first video that we made, it took us, or it was one of those Moodle, general introduction to Moodle videos.
Mm-hmm.
It took me about a day to get it done, probably about 4 hours of work.
Okay.
So that's including me finding somebody, going out to the CCC front area.
Mm-hmm.
We probably spent about 20 minutes recording, just trying to get like the right angle and make sure that you have to deal with traffic, because we went to the back entrance, or not, well, I guess the Beaver Creek entrance. We went to that entrance because it tends to be a little bit less crowded and
Right.
trafficy than the Malala entrance. So we went there, and so sometimes you would have to wait until all the big trucks passed, and then you'd have
Okay.
to say, okay, go, and then you do. So it took about 20 minutes to film, and once we got back into our office, it took about 2.5 hours or so to kind of figure out all the Camtasia, where we wanted to put our clips and organize everything. And then it took me about 45 minutes to do the voice recording the first time, because it was me learning how to speak at a normal pace. Like I kind of speak in a slightly caffeinated pace, and I have to speak at a slower pace than that in a very deliberate fashion and make sure that I enunciate well while I'm doing those. So it took me a little bit of train up time.
Okay.
After that, we had put together a really good layout that we could just repeat over and over. So it became rinse, wash, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So in Camtasia, it allows you to work. It uses kind of a track-based layout. So what we did was we've got all of our little, like this little box represents our call out that had the little CCC, I think start here, but this is our video for the instructor, the part with me standing in front of the CCC entrance.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This portion is a holding spot that leaves the video kind of blank for us so that I could pop in an instructor in that little middle section. So there was an instructor that popped up and said, hi, my name is blah, 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 and I'm going to be your instructor.
Okay.
Well, now that I have this made, we designed it so that we can always pull out this instructor portion and replace it with any other instructor's video.
Okay, and you do that just by putting it on its own track.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just put it on its own track, and that's why it's
It's
separated
okay.
off so that we
Okay.
know. Okay, well, if Polly's going to teach this course instead of Lily, okay, well, take Polly's video out, put Lily's video in, or take Lily's video out, put Polly's
Polly's in.
video in, do the rendering again, which takes about 15, 20 minutes. But nothing you have to do. You go get a coffee, you come back, it's done.
Okay.
But as far as actual man hours, it's about 5 minutes
Okay.
of man hours. You wait
Right.
for Camtasia to open, you hit delete, you put the other video in,
Mm-hmm.
make sure it's placed right, you're done. Because all the other stuff is the same.
Oh, okay.
So we do a lot of that. So especially if you've got classes where you've got multiple instructors that are teaching the same
Mm-hmm.
material, or something where you might have a different instructor every term teach it, but you want
Right.
that video. Once you get it set up, laid out in Camtasia, you save that kind of layout, the project file, and then it becomes very easy to just treat it like Lego blocks, and you just
Nice.
build new pieces as you need them.
And they just have to be comparable time-wise, or does it matter?
You can totally change the
You
time
can
too.
stretch it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, our micro instructor, he gave us an insert that was a minute long.
Okay.
All the other inserts are like 15 to 30 seconds. He gave
Okay.
us one that was a minute. One of the things that Camtasia can do is you can take like a screenshot or image, part of a video, and you can tell it to stretch it.
Okay.
So I actually kind of like that, because at one point we have the spot where it's just like it's me and I sit there and I go, ooh, here's your instructor. It can just sit on that spot of the CCC logo, and it can take that little half a second thing and stretch it out to a minute. So the
Okay.
background never changes, and you can always adjust it based on how long your instructor spoke.
Perfect.
So
Okay, right,
it always
right.
matches up.
Nice.
So it's very simple. Camtasia has all sorts of little bells and whistles that you could use to help you basically put together good little videos. So like all those little call outs and stuff like that I did, they're all in Camtasia.
Okay.
I didn't do anything special to make them. I did not learn how to use Photoshop to make little cutout. They were pre-built, pre-made in
Nice.
Camtasia.
Okay.
So, and like I said, this software, you can get 30-day trial for free. We're going to have it in deal. I think it's already installed in the multimedia workstations. It's really, pretty straightforward software.
Can we get it on our office computers?
Yes, but then you have to pay for it. I think it's $100 and some odd, $180 or so
Okay.
for a copy of it. And I think we're probably going to end up buying a copy between me, Polly, and Lily, just because I think we're going to use it enough that it makes sense for us to have a copy over in Polly, instead of
Okay.
having to come over here.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely is probably the best piece of software for the video. I do, Chris hooked us up with this piece of software that's called Audacity, that is for sound editing.
I saw that I saw that called out in a couple of videos saying that was a good.
Yeah, it's great. It's free. It's got a lot of bells and whistles in it. So the way that I approached this, and partly because of learning curve, and we had a week and a half before classes started, and we wanted to get it up before classes started. There are audio tools that are built into Camtasia,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to do most of what we wanted to do, because most of what we wanted to do was to pull the sound levels up and try to get the sound levels to match from section of video to section of video.
Okay.
And we could do that pretty well with Camtasia. I mean, there's definitely some spots where I still would want to go back and kind of clean things up if I have more time. So maybe like over the winter, I'll go back and do some more editing to make it sound really pretty. But as far as just getting something out there that the students can access immediately and get us through the fall term, Camtasia's audio functions had enough to kind of do those basic things.
Okay.
Like Camtasia audio will pull things up and it'll let you do fade in, fade outs, do some clipping, but Audacity has lots of noise removal and filtering and all sorts of other really cool tools to really clean up your audio.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it becomes kind of a time thing
Right.
that you have available. So that guy's free for 30 days.
Okay.
Free now that we have it on campus. And yeah, you could buy it, but it's free.
But we come here.
So you don't have to pay for that. If you want to use one of these guys to help you with the editing, free, because we borrowed it from DLC. This guy was $10, which I've put into the relatively inexpensive category, just one shade above free. This guy, you've already paid AT&T, Verizon, or Sprint for, so I'm going to write it off as an amortized expense. So it's not totally free, but you probably already have it. And one of these guys you don't really need, but I wanted to bring two. One, to emphasize that if you wanted to do the same type of two-camera shoot, you might have two cameras. Or, if you have kids and they have a smartphone, if you can convince one of them to let you borrow it, then you've got two cameras.
Right.
Or if you already own a point-and-shoot that also has a little video record mode, you've got two cameras if you need to use two cameras. A lot of times you might not even need the two-camera thing. We needed it a little bit because there's like hand manipulation, so sometimes it's hard because my hand would be in one spot. So it actually started off as we'll record from this direction and we'll record from another direction and then see which one of the videos is the best and use that one. And then once I thought about it, I said, oh wait, Camtasia will allow me to embed that little video, like embed one video inside of the other. I'll just show both angles.
Right.
Won't waste any video. So I went that route. One of the videos, I think we only use one shot because you don't need to be fancy with two shots. It's just one head-on shot the whole way through. There's transitions. Like I think this video, because it's so long, we put some little transition scenes in there, so there's like some nice flowing water. This is all about like plants and planting plants, so it kind of makes sense that there would be water with your plant planting. So we've got I think it's a pool of water that kind of like splashes out, and then it says planting seeds, all in Camtasia, all built into Camtasia. So yeah, it's even got video edit or video transitions that you can put in there. It's got all sorts of cool little bells and whistles.
Okay.
Yeah. So
does the college have a centralized place that holds the scripts and the videos, or are they currently just kind of living with whomever develops?
I feel like at the moment, the centralized location for things like that is Chris.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We tried, as we built all of our materials, we stored them on the iDrive in just our departmental site, so that, and then just kind of like told other people in the department, hey, if you see our videos and you like them and there's something you want to steal, then feel free. Our Camtasia project files that have all the bits that go into each track are in there. Okay. So if you want to take something out totally
Right.
feel free to grab it. Like this should not be one of those, no, it's my video, I will only
Right.
help my students.
Yeah.
Feel free to mix and match, grab stuff as you see fit.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody has grabbed things, but it's definitely available for them to grab if they want to.
All right.
Yeah. I think that's it as far as my spiel.